Hello and welcome to my graduate recital. My name is John Eric Copeland, and it's my pleasure to bring to you a lot of the pieces that I have been fortunate to write during this time. This has kind of been a dream come true for me. Ever since I was a teenager, I imagined that I would major in music and especially composition, but somehow that never happened, and I ended up living a whole different life in music, professional music, but super excited that I can finally present to you my graduate recital. I'd like to start with my very first piece that I wrote. It's called 4 Days in New York. It's for flute, bassoon, vibraphone, and xylophone. An odd combination, and I'm not sure how that all got chosen, but I just went kind of crazy. A lot of times I experimented in this degree with different things. What could I do that was different? And so that's why I decided to write for these four different instruments. So this is movements 2 and 3 of 4 Days in New York. The next piece I'd like to show you is Movement 2 from Tales of the Sea. This was written for the New Music Ensemble, and this piece is written for flute, clarinet, violin, cello, and piano. This specific movement does not have all the players recorded, but I was able to record a great violinist, and so I want to feature Movement 2, which features a beautiful violin solo and a little different ending than the actual 4-movement piece has. So here it is. This is Tales of the Sea, Movement 2. This next song is called The Dice Are Cast. I wanted to make this song really unique, and I did want to start with a 12-tone row. There's some nice symmetry here because The Dice Are Cast is built on a 12-tone row, as was my first piece, 4 Days in New York, and it's really allowed me to go someplace very unique. When I wrote the row, I did it totally by chance by rolling dice. As you'll see in the video, the actual rolls you see were some of the rolls that decided what the row was going to be, what the tempo was going to be, and what the key was going to be. But as I started to work with the tone row, I decided to explore all chords, starting with the tonic chord and then 7th and 9th and 11th and 13th. And whenever you get into 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, you start getting into jazzy sounds. And here we go. It's turned into a jazzy kind of song with a lot of unique chord changes. And I decided to play trombone. So this is The Dice Are Cast, featuring me on piano. It also features a track and me on trombone that I haven't really played since I was in high school. So I hope you will enjoy The Dice Are Cast. This next song is called The Tubas Rival, and for those of you who have seen it, you probably can't forget it. It was a very unique kind of theater piece featuring the amazing tubists Claude, Kashnig, the maestro himself. I have prepared a full video on this and am working on it still, but this is just a one of the most lovely pieces I think that I've written in my time here at UCF, and I'm very excited about this melody. And it's called the Tubus Lament, and it was shot very nicely on the rehearsal stage by a friend of mine, and I just think it's lovely, and I hope you enjoy this piece.
The Tubus could see that the euphonist was very talented, and perhaps even more talented than he. The Tubus was left to wallow in his own self-pity. Now his dilemma was doubly disturbing, if not disconcerting. If he was no longer the featured human performer in the Robe Orchestra with a K, was he now just a second fiddle, a mere oompa accompanist? Was he no longer important and unique now that the debonair euphonist was seated next to him, sure to get all the attention with that tight-lipped smile and that most human embouchure? And so began the Tubist's Lament. Well, that was dramatic.
This next song is called Bowcial Distancing, and obviously it's a song made for our times. It features Jomar Cruz on cello, and this was a new music ensemble composer and soloist piece written specifically for and with Jomar. He gave me a lot of ideas on this piece, including some really unique things you'll hear in the middle that he does with some odd kind of harmonic-y, he calls them electric sounding parts that he suggested and showed me some things he could do. So I wrote some of those things into this particular piece. So this is Jomar, Jomar, and another Jomar. And he will be playing for you Bowcial Distancing. This song is called Constant. It is a piano sonata for 2 pianos and 4 hands. And this comes from a novel that came from a short story that I wrote 20 years ago and just released that this year. And this particular piece, I always had some themes in my mind for this. And so I decided to write something for piano that I would not play. And it was quite an experience. Some of it was written on the piano, some of it was written right on the page and right in the program. So I'm very happy with the way this turned out. It was written in 1 semester and maybe half a semester, And it was a lot of fun to put together and do something on piano that's not me playing piano. So I hope you enjoy Constant Piano Sonata. I decided to write something for horns and drum set that was a little different from some of the things I had been writing in the composition class so far. So I decided to take this song and kind of totally redo it for alto sax, bass clarinet, trombone, and baritone and euphonium, and also drum set. So this is the performance that we captured, and again, it was one of those times where I mostly captured it pretty well, and I just want to thank everyone who was involved, including lots of professors that were involved in this. So enjoy Yin and Yang. This next piece is called Hope for Planet C. It was actually written when we were planning last spring's new music ensemble performance at the Dr. Phillips Center, and it was going to be a really neat thing. We had a theme and it was very exciting, and I was very happy with the way this piece turned out. But unfortunately, COVID happened and we were not able to have that particular performance. So it took a little doing, and I'm still missing some real marimba on this song, so I hope you will forgive that piece, but I was able to get all the players on the other parts, and I think the video will explain the kind of thought behind the piece. And this is called Hope for Planet C. Thank you so much for watching my graduate recital. This very last piece was not written for the composition program at UCF, but it was written in my very first semester when I was taking another class at UCF and finishing up my theory regimen over at Valencia. and this was written in Theory 4, and at the very end of the class, the professor asked us for a song that we would write based on something we've learned in theory. And so being the smart aleck I usually am, I decided to write a song called It's Just a Theory. And it was all based on Dorian modes, and it was pretty funny because some of my classmates have followed me over to UCF, and they didn't know what to expect when this old guy was going to go to the piano and play this piece. They probably expected something classical, they probably expected something kind of obtuse, and I guess this is kind of obtuse in a classical way because it's not very classical, but it's me, and on this version I was able to include my brother on drums and my friend and instructor Pat Gallo, who also worked on his masters at UCF. So I felt it was very apropos to include this song, and especially as the last song, even though it really precedes all the music that you've heard so far. So this is called It's Just a Theory, and again, thank you so much for watching my graduate recital.